I really didn't think it would be this hard.
The JFK 50-mile race has a rich history tied to American fitness and military tradition. The story begins in the spring of 1963 as part of President John F. Kennedy's initiative to improve the nation's physical fitness.
We want a nation of participants in a vigorous life. This is not a matter which can be settled, of course, from Washington. It is really a matter which starts with each individual family.
This initiative was inspired by a challenge set by Theodore Roosevelt in the early 20th century, requiring military officers to cover 50 miles on foot in 20 hours to retain their commissions, essentially setting a physical fitness standard for the military at that time. This requirement was part of his efforts to improve the overall physical fitness of the armed forces. Kennedy's challenge sparked interest among military and civilian participants nationwide. After Kennedy's assassination in November 1963, most of the 50-mile events inspired by his fitness push were discontinued. However, the event in Washington County, Maryland persisted. It remains the only original JFK 50-mile challenge event held annually. The race starts in the city of Boonesboro and ends in Williamsport. There are three major sections of the race. It starts with the Appalachian Trail, then continues onto the C&O Canal towpath, and ends with paved rolling hills. At this year's 62nd annual JFK 50-mile, 5 friends of different backgrounds who met through their passion for running set out to complete this historic challenge. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Matt, you ready?
Of course.
Our journey began in Rhode Island and took us 430 miles south through rain that turned to sleet then snow, as if the universe was throwing its worst at us before we even reached the starting line in Boonesboro, Maryland. Our destination? A rustic log cabin Airbnb nestled 5 minutes from the JFK 50 starting line. Was this weather a preview of what awaited us on race day, or just nature's way of setting the stage? We stopped at the Homewood Suites in Hagerstown for the pre-race expo and bib pickup. It was a hive of nervous energy and hopeful chatter, where runners milled about, clutching their race bibs like talismans. For some, this was the last stop before resting up for the challenge ahead. For us, it was merely a waypoint, 11 miles still to go to our cabin. Only one thought swirled in my mind. Would I even make it tomorrow? Normally, I wouldn't dwell on such doubts, but a month ago, I had pushed my body to its limits, finishing my first 100-mile race. My knee still hadn't forgiven me. Every run since had been a reminder of my fragility. 10 miles was the most I could muster before the pain started shouting. Tomorrow? Tomorrow was 5 times that distance. Would I finish? Or would I push too hard, leaving myself in the hospital bed as the cost of ambition? Each of us carried our own uncertainties. For Mac, this was uncharted territory. His first 50-mile race, his longest run so far had been a marathon, and now he was stepping into the void. Jordan, the quiet stoic. His longest race, the grueling Canadian death race, had tested him in ways he hadn't expected, and injuries had a habit of creeping in like uninvited guests. Dave was the steady hand, the veteran. 50 miles was his bread and butter. He'd faced down a 100-miler before, and countless ultras had etched wisdom into his stride. Would he achieve his personal best at this race? Then there was Brian, the elder of our group, a marathoner who is only 2 states shy of completing his dream to run one in all 50 states. He was stepping into the world of ultras with cautious excitement. Each of us had a story, a reason for being here. For me, it was about participating in history, standing on the shoulders of legacy stretching back to Kennedy himself. For others, it was personal records, milestones, and the quiet satisfaction of testing their limits. What we couldn't know then was that this year would be like no other. We weren't just part of a celebrated race, we were part of a year that would leave its own mark.
So this is my first 50-mile race. My plan is relatively modest. Plan to kind of speed up until we get to the mountain, walk up the mountain. Once we clear the mountain into the canal, I'm gonna speed up, probably average anywhere from an 8 to a 9 minute mile, and then just take it from there. Every 10 miles, I'm gonna stop, eat a little bit, make sure I hydrate. I think I should do about the 10-hour mark.
All right, my goal for JFK 50 is to set a new 50-mile PR. So for me, that would be, currently it's at 9:17. Depending on how tomorrow goes, I'm looking to do 8 hours. If things are going amazing, I'd be happy with anything less than 9 hours. But ultras being the way they are, hard to complain if I have a bad day and still finish. Strategy-wise, I think just practice patience. For the first 15 miles, my expectation is that it's going to be crowded. I have a tendency to trip at inconvenient times on the trail, so I'm really confident if I can just make it to the towpath healthy, and then I can maintain a consistent pace for the rest of the race. And so I just want to keep my cool there for the first part. And other than that, just do what I'm used to doing.
Yeah, so I guess I'm looking at tomorrow as my opportunity to run my first fast 50-miler in a while. I did a 50-mile trail race probably 5 or 6 years ago. This year, I've paced a couple friends for really long distances, and so my goal tomorrow is to try to break 9 hours. I probably have the speed in me to go a little bit faster than that, but I think I want to play it smart and kind of just stay within myself. But 9 hours would make me happy. Anything faster would be. I do have a strategy. It's not to have my heart rate get too elevated. So basically, we're going to have to work hard fast on the pavement, which includes running up a fairly steep paved road to get to the Appalachian Trail, to the trailhead. And that's going to be hard work, and I need to immediately be able to get my heart rate low as we hike up the trail part. It's going to be a conga line. It's going to be a lot of people on a really narrow trail. And because I can't have my heart rate pegged the whole day. So I need to make sure that even though I'm going to work hard early, that I get my heart rate back to normal so that when I'm on the C&O canal path, that I'm kind of in cruising mode, and then see how it goes.
My goal is to finish hopefully in under 11 hours, and definitely in under 12, and absolutely under 13. I don't want to be too far behind from the start, so I'm not behind people when we get on the Appalachian Trail. After that, I think I'll just play it by ear. Yeah, I just want to run as much as possible. I run and walk as little as possible. I had been thinking about this race for years, not like decades or anything, because I only, ever since I first heard about the race though, but I think when I first heard about it, I had never done a long distance run. But now that I've done several and the opportunity arose to go with a bunch of people and have fun down there, I jumped at the chance.
My biggest worry going into this race is that I'm not fully recovered from running the Mid-State Massive 100-mile race about a month ago. And my left knee is still bothering me. I could barely get to 10 miles without pain. I hope that I can make it through the 50 miles to the finish line without injuring myself even more. My strategy for the JFK 50 is to just run and walk and just try to make the 13-hour cutoff time, be able to finish the oldest ultramarathon in the country.
Ron, where did everybody go?
Dave's way up there.
My neck's starting to hurt now from sleeping the wrong way. Neck. Not my knee though. It's mile 23. My knee is actually okay. My neck is not that great. But this canal path that stretches for 26 miles, I'm really not feeling it. This is just this for 26 miles. Looks pretty, but it's flat. It's boring. I'm really not feeling it. I definitely like trails way better, but this is just too monotonous for me. The funny part is, the thing that really is bothering me is my neck from tweaking it earlier in the week while sleeping. Every time I drink water, it tweaks the neck a little bit. And we're still on the boring canal tow path. I think it's almost over. Oh, you mean I'm not making it to the daylight?
You're all right, man. You're all right. No shame in this, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good finish.
Did your strategy work?
It did not, but strategy was sound. This comes down to the training. I don't think I had enough time to address the weaknesses that I had after death race.
Yeah.
Going into this, if I learn anything, it's I need to be more intentional with the races I do and how I space them, and I need more practice trail running.
So your strategy worked out. That is?
I did.
The strategy go. You even did better than your goal.
I totally accomplished my goal. My goal was under 9 hours, and I ran 8 hours and 33 minutes.
Awesome.
So super strong. Call that a win.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, it is. The one that has a crooked walk. That's his walk. Go, Brian! You got it! Brian! Great job! Brian! You got it, Brian! You got it! Get it! Get it!
Congratulations.
That's just Brian being Brian. Nobody knows your signature run style.
I know. I am singled offside.
Yeah, he's good.
Like and subscribe.